It's springtime in the Midwest, and that means I'm outside in my yard for one of the first times all spring. It's about 40 degrees right now, and it's going to get up to about 55 degrees today. I'm starting to think I need to get some grass seed down in my yard. There's a lot of bald areas in my yard, which I will try to show you. Here we go. There's some right there. There's a big area right in the middle of my yard where my dogs have tore it up all winter. And last fall, there's some more spots further down. Down by the big tree, you can see my car behind it. That's almost all dirt. And to the left side of my yard, that's almost all dirt. About a week ago, I bought Scott's Turf Builder Triple Action Pre-Emergent, and I actually put that down on my yard. And I know what you're thinking. Anybody that knows anything about Pre-Emergent, which I did not, I shouldn't have done that. On the bag it says to wait 4 months before I put down grass seed, but I'm gonna try to get away with putting the grass seed down after my pre-emergent and seeing what happens. I've read online a little bit that if you score the ground and break up that pre-emergent barrier, that you can actually get grass seed to grow, so that's what I'm gonna do. So it is pretty cold here. Once again, I'm in the Midwest, so I went inside and grabbed a jacket before I shot a little bit more of this video. But I wanted to go over a little bit of the basics of a pre-emergent. Again, I'm not a lawn care expert, so I can't tell you everything that it does. But basically, the Scott's Triple Action pre-emergent that I got, it covers a lot of different kinds of weeds, and specifically crabgrass is what I was shooting for. But again, what happens when you put down a pre-emergent that covers crabgrass is it will actually block the growing of other things like grass seed as well. So it creates a barrier on the surface of the soil, and it won't allow seeds to germinate. So since I put that down too early, it would actually also block the grass seed that I'm going to put down. I plan on overseeding my entire yard, but I'm going to probably have to wait until May or June to do that, and I know that's not preferable. I'll have to look at the weather and see if it's just way too dry. If it is, I could choose to overseed sections of my lawn and water it, but I don't want to waste that much water. So I could just save the seed and put it down in the fall, which is most likely what I would do, and then it would start to germinate and then come up next year. I do want to get some of these really bad mud patches growing this year, so I'm going to score the ground, put the grass seed down, hope for the best. I have a little hand aerator and just a leaf rake that I'm going to take to the areas in my yard to try to break up that barrier. And I'm going to put down grass seed, and hopefully some of the seed falls in the holes where I've aerated, and maybe some of the grooves that I've scratched with the rake, and we'll see if that works. And I'm going to take video of it all. I actually have a GoPro coming in the mail this week, and I'll be taking some of my action shots with that throughout this process, and I will keep you posted as it starts to grow as well. So wish me luck. I wanted to introduce you guys to a couple of my helpers that you're going to see throughout the video. This is Bay, and this is Mesa. Let's go outside, get our old shoes on and some, I already have some shorts on, but let's get outside and get this going. All right, so I got a few tools here. I got a gardening hoe. I've got the green aerator that I talked about earlier, and I've got a normal leaf rake. I'm gonna use all three to try to score up the ground and hopefully break that pre-emergent barrier. I'm gonna rake up the area first to kind of clean it up. And then I'm going to do a combination of all three to break up that barrier. Here we go. So I know this is supposed to be yard work and everything, but I like to try to have a little bit of fun, whether it be playing with my dogs while I'm doing this, or pulling my kids into this while I'm doing the yard work. It's a good form of exercise. You know, I don't always make it to the gym, so I do like to hit the yard pretty hard in the summer. It also can save you a little bit of money. So on to aerating and the hoeing. All right, hopefully that was enough with the aerator because my arms are on fire. All right, let's do a little bit of raking and maybe a little bit of hoeing. I'm not sure how much hoeing we're gonna need to do. Also, I seem to have misplaced my hoe. I don't know if my dogs took it or if I took it somewhere and left it, but I don't know where it is. Anyway, here goes with the raking, and I'm gonna find that. Even with some pretty aggressive raking, I just barely scratched the surface with that. So I will hit the ground with the hoe a few times. I'm kind of hoping that the aeration was enough. Here we go. All right. I have hopefully successfully broken the pre-emergent barrier. I'm gonna go get the grass seed and my grass seed spreader, and I have something to show you guys with that. All right, I have to make this quick because I'm running out of room on my phone, but I have a handheld broadcast spreader like this, which I've used for a long time, but also my neighbors moved out of their house last year sometime, and they left their snap spreader, and I know that that is meant for, you know, those snap bags of fertilizer, but I was able to reuse that, so I just cut the top off of the bag of fertilizer and I've been filling it up with either fertilizer or, in this case, grass seed. The only one thing that I needed to be careful of in this case was that I don't also spread down more pre-emergent with my grass seed, but I was careful of that. I rinsed it out and let it dry, and now this bag is full of grass seed, which I'll try to show you right now. Here's my little setup. It's a Scott snap spreader. So if you come across something like that, don't just throw it away. They're not really huge on the market anymore, but I'm able to reuse it for my purposes. And here I go. I'm gonna go ahead and spread the grass seed in that area, and I'm gonna grass seed very heavily. All right, so it's been about 3 weeks since I put down the grass seed, and as you saw, you know, I cleaned up the yard and did some of that hand core aerating, and I actually do have some grass seed growing now, so I just wanted to show you guys that. All right, so here's the big mud patch, and I can just bring you in a little closer, and you can see some of the seed starting to germinate down there. Actually, quite a bit of it is, so that's good news. I'm actually surprised at how much has germinated. I don't know if it is that the application of Scott's triple action that I put down didn't work, or if I just very successfully broke through that pre-emergent barrier. But in the end, it's exactly what I wanted, so I'm happy.